All right, everyone, welcome to a late night edition of Twilight Princess LavaDash on Zelda Speedruns 2 today. On comms, we've got Anarakis and Fino. How's it going, guys?
It's going good.
Yep, going good.
So I'll leave you guys to it.
Yep. Very late race or very early morning for the case of two of our racers, Link and G's, who got up pretty early to make this work. This is the last chance pool, so the winner of these three will move on to the final bracket, and the other two will be eliminated from the tournament. So lots at stake here. Should be really fun. Looks like we have the Spanish version, the Japanese version, and I think Jesus on the French version. A little interesting choice. Japanese is the fastest, then Spanish, and I don't know where French is in the lineup, but shouldn't be too slow.
Yeah, this category is really nice because kind of regardless of which version you're playing, what different languages are even on the Wii or GameCube version, you generally get roughly the same time.
Yeah, I think this is the longest category where that's the case. There are some shorter categories like ILs where it doesn't make much of a difference.
Yeah, it's nice. We always end up with a nice variety of different languages and consoles. All right, everybody is ready. So we're about to start.
Right. Well, these racers are really good, so hoping it'll be a good race and nothing will go wrong at all. Right?
That's what we hope. All right, there we go.
And they're off. I think we already see some variability in the loading times with Link and G's getting slightly faster. Maybe that's just slightly off sync or something. Like most Twilight Princess categories, we start the run by picking up this rock and using it to clip through a gate. There is some RNG here, so let's see how many bonks it takes.
Yeah, ideally we side up into the gate using the rock, and we bonk once and we get out. But rarely is TP that nice. So we'll see how this plays out.
One bonk for G's, but the gate giving a little problem for Link and Ace.
And then we just saw G's do a trick called back in time. So by falling into a void and resetting at the right time, we can actually get onto the title screen. And then once we're on the title screen map, we can actually void out again, which we just saw G's do. And that'll clear the title prompt and let us pause and save and reset. And the big advantage here being that we can use the state of the title screen that you sort of land on to get items early, namely the Ordon Sword, the Helion Shield, and then having opponent tamed. And it also lets us skip Ordon Stay 1 into, and we go straight to saving Tallow. So saving a lot of time there. Don't have to do the fishing rod side quest, the fishing rod quest to get the fishing rod, and then get the slingshot and all that stuff. So all that gets skipped.
Yeah, really nice trick. Obviously, it's a lot more useful in Skyward Sword, but for various reasons, all we can use it for in Twilight Princess is those few things: getting the Epona tamed flag early and getting an early sword and shield. A
So
lot
right
of
now,
the... Sorry.
So right now all the runners have gotten the lantern from Koro, and they're heading to North Faron to free Tala from the cage. Here, a lot of movement tech matters, so you'll be seeing the runners try to not drop any rolls so that they save as much time as possible. Because in TP, when you roll, if you have any frames where you're not rolling, you lose speed, which in turn causes you to get through the area slightly slower.
Yeah, especially up hills, since there are quite a few hills here.
Exactly, yep.
Looks fairly clean for most of the runners. As far as I can see, G's doing some fancy camera angles. I wonder if that's some lag management that I'm not aware of.
Yeah, I don't know the camera meta here. I can't tell if that actually reduces lag or if he's just having fun.
It very well could. That is a laggy area.
Yeah, it absolutely could be.
That's another one of the reasons why Wii is also competitive in this category, because it has very little lag. And so it makes up for a few things just with faster loading times and better lag. Looks like G's will be the first to break the cage. And then Link and then Ace. Up to this point in the run, it's fairly straightforward, and then right after this we have a semi-RNG element with goats. Always a fun time.
The goats can be very finicky. Basically, you have to herd the 20 goats, and ideally you want to try to do it in under 20 seconds. Although sometimes the goats just are not very nice to you and end up running off, and that ends up wasting time. So we'll kind of see how that plays out for the 3 runners here.
Yeah, the RNG involved is how sensitive the goats are to you. So sometimes they just decide they don't want to move at all, and it's frustrating. And sometimes they're just over eager to move, and that's also frustrating sometimes. Hopefully we'll get a good goats from all 3 of the runners. Ooh, what does it say in French when goats get in?
Run-tray? And looks like, that's not good.
Yeah, a few
of them, running off there. So unfortunately, G's got kind of trolled here. He'll have to go around and collect the few that ran off.
But he had a lead, so should roughly even it up here.
Like I think my favorite.
Yeah, where it's just bae. I think my favorite is the Japanese, though, where it just says "get in" in English.
All right, so with that, looks like Link took the lead.
Ooh, the Ace's goats looking like they were going to be really mean, but then turning out semi-decent.
Yeah, so, still cleared 30 seconds there, which is not bad.
In an any percent speedrun, the runners would be going and getting the iron boots now, but for reasons we will explain in about 25 minutes, we do not do that at this point.
Yeah, this category still needs the iron boots, but they're intentionally delayed, which we'll see later.
At least if you wanted to skip the iron boots in this category, it would take significantly longer.
Yeah.
And is definitely not worth it. That's sort of the first section of the run done. Now the runners will be going to the sewers and the rooftops, which have a bunch of tiny optimizations, but is mostly just running through as fast as they can. First optimization, if they can do a combo in a specific way, they can break this box on the corner as it's fading out into the cutscene. Link just missing it there, going a little too late. G's getting
got
it.
Nice.
Very nice. It saves all of 3 frames, so you know it's important. G's also doing a spin attack.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I don't even know how you do that, to be honest. And Ace, unfortunately, missing box break as well.
So here we'll be seeing some pretty optimized movement throughout the sewers, doing things like dash canceling. So you dash and then do a B attack to then get your dash back immediately. As well as, it doesn't look like any of the runners are doing it, but you can also do a clever side hop down during that mid-attacks there. So just a little bit of optimized movement throughout the sewers here.
Yeah, and a few interesting little time savers. I know at least Link went for it. There's a way to start a cutscene like half a second earlier, and we might be seeing one or two of the runners skipping a text box later. So Link talking to Midna before entering that saves like half a second, if I remember correctly, just by making the text boxes go faster. It's kind of strange. And they'll be going for some 1-frame jumps to hopefully get up there. G's got it, yep. And Link didn't, so that already put G's back in the lead.
Yeah, there's a couple of those 1-frame tricks coming up. There's going to be another midnight jump like that. As well as entering the next area, there's 1 frame where you can jump attack right before, or right after a cutscene skip to skip another midnight attack. So we'll be seeing the runners to try to get that as well.
Yeah, that's only really possible in these midnight jumps when there's text beforehand. So yeah, there's an opportunity there at the start of the tower, and then hopefully they'll be able to. Like, G's just skipped a mid-attacks there, and Link also getting it. Yep. Either of them going for the risky, like, 0.3 second time saver there. That I always go for, and no one else does, because they don't want to throw the runaway. And one last chance for a 1-frame jump here. G's getting it. Now they'll be off to Sword and Shield skip, which is fun.
Yeah, this is sort of the first killer trick on the run here. So essentially at this point in the run, or in the game normally, yeah, you're supposed to go get the Ordon Sword and Shield. But it is faster, and also in this category, just straight up impossible to actually get them. So it's faster to skip them. So what we're going to see the runners do is pull a Bublin over to the entrance to Frown Woods, which has the Twilight Wall. And normally Midnight is supposed to block you from entering until you go get the Sword and Shield. But we'll see the runners do is pull a Bublin over to just sort of use him to jump over that trigger that blocks you, and instead hit the trigger that pulls Wolf Link into the Twilight, effectively skipping this whole section.
Yeah, there's a lot that you need to pay attention to in this trick, and the Bulblin, which we have named Hugo, has quite a bit of RNG in how he reacts to you pushing him. So there's a lot of variability in this trick. Hopefully we'll see everyone get it first try, which has not been the case in most of the...
Yeah, it's a very tough trick to hit under pressure, and you only get one shot at it. Because when you do the jump, the second jump, Hugo needs to still be alive. And so you basically are trying to get him in position, jump attack at him once to put him in the air, and then attack him again while he's in the air to jump over the trigger, which G's just got.
She's getting it really fast there.
Link got it as well. Very good.
Very close between Link and G's so far.
But you can only target the Bubble and Hugo in the air while he's still alive. So if you do more than one attack to him, the second jump attack will actually kill him, and you won't be able to do the trick. So you only get one shot at it, and if you miss it, you have to go and fall into the void to respawn him with full health to try it again, which involves pulling him all the way over there again, which wastes well over a minute. So hopefully we see all three runners here get it first try. Ace attempting it now. Unfortunate.
Ooh, just barely hitting the trigger there. So Ace will have to jump off the bridge and try again. While Link and G's just taking care of these Shadow Beasts. And in this category, we need to collect the tiers in this Twilight. We need to finish the Twilight. And unlike other categories of this game, we need to collect them all in one go.
Yes.
Optimally.
So in other categories, you can actually just completely skip this Twilight. But in this one, we actually need to complete it. Because we need to use the stage room and lair that sort of happens after the Twilight gets cleared to do a trick later on to get to Kakariko Village much earlier than we're supposed to.
It also helps that we're able to return to Orden Village afterward to get the Iron Boots, like we said earlier. And G's and Link both leaving the first two tiers. We're a little past that, but they'll be collecting those last after getting the Master Sword.
And Ace just got Sword and Shield Skip.
Very nice.
Very nice, yeah.
Second try is still decent for a race. A lot of nerves and a lot of things that can go wrong in this category.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still really anybody's race. So G's and Link actually just did a trick there to skip a text box from Koro. So normally after you defeat the bugs there, Koro says some words. But his dialogue won't come up unless you have senses activated. So Link and G's both did a mid charge into the bugs, and then as soon as they hit the bugs, they turned senses off, which prevented that dialogue from coming up. So just a very small time saver there.
I think I failed that in one of the races, and I just felt stupid.
I don't think I've ever failed it yet.
It's really easy. Just hit the sets button after the minute. Things happen.
So again, the runner's getting all the tiers here, which normally in other runs you would only, where you do have to actually get the vessel, you would only get some of them because you have to do a second trip through here. But in this category, we're only going to be doing a single trip through most of the woods. So the runners are getting all the tiers now.
And that's mostly because we don't need to go to the Forest Temple in this category.
Yes.
So we only need to go through this place once. But it does mean we have to do the difficult trick, Early Master Sword. Not quite as difficult as Sword and Shield Skip, but still a gatekeeper sometimes for early runners. And we'll see the runners doing it twice. Looks like we got a raid from Zelda Speedruns as well. Thanks for the raid.
Yeah, thanks guys. Welcome to LavaDash. And we're about to see the first attempt at EMS here. Again, runners are going to have to do it twice. Once to actually get out of this area to go get the final two bugs in the north. And then come back and do it again to go get the Master Sword. And we need the Shadow Beast alive to actually do this trick. So that's the reason why we have to do it twice. If we were to kill them to go get the bugs in the north, we would have to... our run would effectively be over. G's actually getting a faster EMS there, doing it in a not normal spot.
after getting some bad luck in the normal spot.
Yeah.
But knowing that backup going for the faster strat is
Nice.
very nice.
Yeah. So that actually did put Link ahead again. So the EMS trick, which Anna just kind of talked about, the Shadow Beast can do 2 different swings. And it actually is possible to get EMS off both swings, but one of them is way harder than the other one. And unfortunately,
one of them is really only possible if your name is Tass.
Yeah, so. Mr. Tass. But yeah, G's got the bad swing there, unfortunately, many times in a row. And it's just RNG, basically a 30% chance to get the bad swing.
G's being careful to do just normal spin attacks there on the Shadow Beasts to make sure that at least one of them stays alive.
Yes.
Because if you kill all 3 of them, then your run is essentially over. There is an alternate route which loses something along the lines of 20 minutes. But both Link and G's now entering the Grove, pretty much tied once again.
Yeah, I don't think anybody yet in LavaDash has killed all the beasts. Or at least I've not seen anybody do it yet.
In one of the races there was.
Ah, of course.
It was one of the pool races. It was quite the thing. That run died to Zelda's run died to crashing at Ook, which was also very unfortunate and also a lot harder to do than. Yeah. Yeah, it probably would be faster at that point to just restart from the bit save.
Yeah.
An optimal Master Sword time is like 21:40, around 22 minutes.
Now we're going to see Ace attempt the double EMS as well.
Not too much interesting about the Sacred Grove. It's just go and hit the Skull Kid 3 times, and then go and hit the Skull Kid 3 more times, and then do a puzzle. It's not getting EMS. I think that's just the first one, so hopefully a little better luck on the second one.
G's and Link tied down to the frame, it looks like. Very close.
Oh, but G's was on the ground and Link was up, so slight advantage to G's. He'll be trying to avoid hitting too many of these puppets. Every extra puppet you hit causes a little bit of hit lag in the game, which loses about 3 frames. We need to hit at least one of them to get the Skull Kid to go to its next cycle.
Yeah, as soon as you hit one of the puppets, a sort of internal timer starts that counts down, and then after a certain number of seconds, the Skull Kid will blow his horn to summon another puppet. So really the point of each of the phases is to just kill a puppet as fast as possible, so that that timer starts as quick as possible.
It's unfortunately just missing the second EMS there. See this very exhilarating puzzle. I wonder who's gonna come out ahead. Ace now getting EMS on her way to the Grove.
Yeah, so this puzzle actually has 2 solutions. basically the solution that both runners are doing now, plus a solution that's like a mirror opposite of it. And there's actually more solutions than this, but these two are the two fastest possible ones, or those two are.
Which is just drawing a rectangle.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
all it is.
And I found out recently that those two solutions are actually proven to be the two most optimal solutions, meaning that all other possible solutions that are, I think it's 11 moves or shorter, were brute forced, and there were no other solutions other than those two.
Oh, nice. I believe the runners, I believe Link and G's were 2 seconds apart at collecting the Master Sword. At least roughly. So, very close race here. Still a lot can happen.
Absolutely.
In fact, right after the Master Sword, there's a big RNG element. And then later, there's another big RNG element. And between those two, there's a thing that you can lose a lot of time to. Lots of stuff coming up. But first, we've got the Master Sword cutscene, which is 2 minutes long.
Yeah, and this is one of the handful of cutscenes in the game that is unskippable. So we do have to watch it and advance the text. It was too important to skip, just like the cat cutscene in Horde on day 1. Or day 2, rather.
Yeah. The squid in a cutscene at the end of the game. Yeah, I suppose we in Twilight Princess are very spoiled. It's a luxury in other games to have cutscene skips, and we just have to deal with a few that we can't.
Yeah, it's especially nice to be able to skip the intro cutscene. A lot of speedruns have like 1, 2, 3, 4 minute openings before you actually get control of the character. But in TP, you pretty much get control of Link immediately. It's very nice.
Yeah, we gain control of Link faster than any other 3D Zelda, which also, interestingly enough, means that we can also crash faster than any other 3D Zelda.
All right, so seeing Jeez and Link both going back to South Faron now to collect those last 2 tiers that were skipped at the beginning and completing the Twilight. And right before they grab the last tier, we're going to see both of them turn into human, and that is so that after the cutscene gets skipped, there is a small minute text that appears right after that cutscene, but it is... there's a single frame between the cutscene getting skipped and Midnight coming up where you can do a backflip. So we're going to see both the runners try to get it. G's got it there. Link also
both
getting
of them getting it. Wow.
Very nice.
The race stays essentially tied.
Yeah. So both of them backflip and then save warp immediately to set up a save for a trick called Back in Time Equipped. So we're going to see them both go back to the bridge from the beginning of the game and do the back in time trick again. Although this time they're not going to be voiding and then respawning. They're actually going to void and then load that file at the same time. And this is going to trigger a wrong warp into the King Bulblin 1 fight, which you can then do the fight, and then that will land you in Kakariko Village, which is advantageous because they need to clear the Elden Twilight, so we're getting there very quickly.
And the King Bulblin 1 fight is fun.
Yeah.
There's RNG in the way that King Bulblin turns, and King Bulblin will turn after every 3rd hit. So turning left for both G's and Link, which is the worst of the 2 directions. It's like neither of them really making a good recovery.
Not great luck here. Looks like Jeez is going to be the first one to kill him. Oh, maybe not.
Maybe.
All right, there it is.
Okay, Jesus out of the fight, and Link still only just behind. The gap is now a little bit further. And they'll be going for a 1 cycle on the bridge, just turning around and getting alongside King Bulblin to hit him 2 times.
Yeah, normally you're supposed to joust back and forth and hit him twice to knock him off, but the game kind of didn't anticipate that you could just turn around and then right alongside him and just keep whacking him. So
really
just speeding
fun.
up that fight just a little bit.
In 100%, I believe the current route and a few previous routes, we just have the bow there. So we can just, shoot King Bulblin twice, and that clears the fight almost immediately. Lots of ways to do it. In fact, back in 2013, a different King Bulblin fight, we used to just throw bombs at King Bulblin. That was
fun.
That was fun.
Fun in quotes.
I don't want to go back to those days. It's like Link and G's both staying human. That is slightly faster as long as they can kill these shadow beasts quickly, which G's did, Link a little less so. And we're on to Elden Twilight.
Yeah, so we're pretty much immediately going to see them do something non-standard, which is go to the graveyard immediately. So normally some of the bugs in the basement below Renato's Sanctuary there, you're supposed to go in and do like a small little puzzle where you light some torches to move a statue. And then you go through the basement and you pop out in the graveyard. But there is actually a way, since we had the Master Sword way earlier than we're supposed to, where we can transform into human and then actually just clip into this well to just sort of do it in reverse, which we just saw Jeez do there. And that is much faster than going through and watching the cutscene in Renato's Sanctuary and doing that whole puzzle.
Yeah, it's bizarre that clip works, but all you have to do is side hop.
So the runners go in and get the 3 bugs and just turn right back around and go back out.
If Ace can get a good King Bulblin 1, that'll catch her up quite a bit. I'd say Elden Twilight is usually the most enjoyable of the 3. Just
yeah,
it's more compact, and there are some fun things about it that well clip, and also we'll be doing something called Bomb House Skip coming up soon, which looks really cool and is really cool. It saves about 30 seconds. Looks like Ace now doing bites, getting into the King Bulblin 1 fight. There's also the hotel, which Jeez is entering now, which is surprisingly technical and easy to lose small amounts of time on. Lure this bug out and hope that the bug doesn't land on the top ledge. Do a bonk here to make the other bug not be on the wall. Go and get the other bug in its tier, and then go back out. Simple in theory, easy to lose time in practice.
So it looked like Ace getting about the same sort of fight that the other 2 got. Maybe actually a little bit faster. But unfortunately she got kind of trolled as well, where he turned to the right at the beginning. Link going for some swag there, doing the side hop out.
I believe G's also went for that.
Yeah, nice.
I believe that is the fastest way.
It is. Yeah, I think it is.
I still prefer the bonk method, though.
So it looks like we're going to see G's attempt the bomb house skip first. Again, this is a very precise jump. Oops.
That jump is also surprisingly precise, as it turns out.
But essentially what we're going to see is a very precise jump to skip the trigger that has the bug scurry into the bomb house. So normally what's supposed to happen is he goes into the bomb house, then you crawl in after him, you light the bomb house on fire, and then that kills the bugs. But you can actually skip that whole section by getting around the trigger with some precise jumps, and then you can just kill the bug before it makes it into the bomb house, which skips the whole sequence altogether.
On this railing and then setting his precise angle, and
G's got
very
it.
very nice bomb house skip from G's.
Yeah. So there, the bug got killed before he went in, and then the house just kind of gets destroyed automatically, and you can pick up the tears.
Oh, and Link falling there.
Unfortunate.
It's unfortunate that loses quite a bit of time.
Yeah. But it does give some time for Ace to catch up.
That it does.
And again, bomb house skip here, very, very precise. If your position or angle is off even a little bit, you'll just fall down and won't get on the ledge at all. And it looks like Link will get it this time.
G's getting a rupee text there, which is unfortunately slow. Tried to skip the text box by side hopping over it, but it didn't work for some reason. We don't need rupees in this run, so...
Link missing a tier, looks like.
And missing the one that you can't get from the outside.
Yeah, he's going to have to crawl back in, unfortunately.
I don't know how he missed it either.
He did the jump attack like that, which, if you do it at the wrong angle, it'll actually miss it, which is why most runners opt to do the side hop. But there we go, he got it that time. I do believe the jump attack is very slightly faster if you can pick up all 3 tiers, but again,
makes
you
sense.
run that risk of
outside of the house. Yeah.
So G's heading up the mountain to get the last 3 tiers.
Fairly straightforward, though. There's a Shadow Beast fight that can cause some problems sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it's kind of hard to get the attention of the Shadow Beasts, and so they kind of just wander off and end up wasting your time. And in this section, it can actually waste even more time because there is a steam jet that we have to jump through, which is on a timer when the area loads. So you really want to kill these guys as fast as possible, so that you don't end up getting sort of in the cycle behind where you're normally supposed to, because then you have to just wait on the steam. It looks like G's probably did it fast enough.
Yeah, it was a pretty decent fight from G's.
But if the Shadow Beasts just kind of troll you and don't pay attention, you can get stuck behind the cycle, and then you just kind of have to wait.
Now getting the last tier in Elden Twilight, or trying. Also getting the last Gargarok in Elden Twilight.
Yeah. And that's Elden Twilight for G's.
We'll be on our way to do the wackiness known as text displacement. So, as we mentioned earlier, we didn't get Iron Boots at the start of this run, which we would have done in an 80% run, for example. And that's because of this trick, where there are some cutscenes in the game that have a bunch of text boxes in them. And there are some of those cutscenes that we can break. The cutscene with Bo leading up to you getting the Iron Boots is one of them. So if we go and talk to Bo fewer times than, all of the text, the game keeps track of how far we are in the conversation, and we can apply that to a different conversation, a different cutscene that we can break, which will let us get into Goron Mines.
Yeah, normally we're supposed to tame Epona and then come back and get the Iron Boots here. But there's kind of 2 different pieces to this. One is the actual enabling of Bo to talk to us to do the wrestle to get the Iron Boots. And then there's the cutscene that actually orchestrates that conversation. And they're actually controlled by 2 different flags. So one flag to actually let you talk to him and get the Iron Boots is the Epona tamed flag, which, as we mentioned before, was gotten from back in time. But the flag to initiate the cutscene is actually triggered by talking to the Goron in Death Mountain Trail and having him knock you off the edge, which we didn't do. So that cutscene that Anno just mentioned is not here. So we're seeing Jeez go into the house and talk to Bo, and we're actually getting that text that's in the cutscene, but we're not getting the cutscene itself. So what we're seeing Jeez do is like advance the conversation to a certain point, and then we're just going to leave and sort of take that conversation and apply it elsewhere, namely to the Goron that we wrestle in front of Goron Mines to get him to open up the Goron Mines for us.
Meanwhile, Ace getting a pretty good bomb house skip. Yeah, and the whole reason why we have to do this is because we got the Master Sword, and that changes the state of the Goron Mines entrance to a state that just won't let us through.
Yeah.
Unless we do this. So this trick, text displacement, was found in 2018 or 2019, one of the two, and saved a lot of time in this category because the Master Sword helps a lot.
Yeah, the Master Sword is like getting the Master Sword is actually checked in many different areas to sort of advance the state or the layer to a later part of the game. And unfortunately, one of those is the entrance to Goron Mines area. So really nice that we have this trick that can sort of let us get around that unfortunate side effect of getting the Master Sword early. For many, many years, it was thought that if you got the Master Sword early, you just couldn't get into Goron Mines.
Without the spinner, that was
right,
the
without
only
the spinner,
way.
yeah.
And the spinner would be very slow in Goron Mines RTA. A lot faster just to not get the Master Sword at that point.
So, but another side effect of this is that Jeez and Link need to be very careful not to talk to any other NPC, because that will also break it. As well as, as I found out in my race that I did last, triggering a cutscene in the area that Link's in right now will also disable it if you skip that cutscene. So there's lots of ways to lose the glitch, so you have to kind of be careful.
I'd hope the runners wouldn't accidentally save warp, but you never know. It could happen.
Yeah. And so Jeez actually did it there. He talked to the Goron Elder, which set the flag to remove the invisible wall. That's where the Gorons are standing to open the Goron Mines. So you might think, okay, well, it's open now. Why didn't we just go in? And that's because we still need the Iron Boots to actually complete the mine. So now Jeez and soon Link is going back to Bo to finish talking to him and do the wrestle so that we can get the Iron Boots and beat the mines.
Which is yet another RNG segment that might bring it closer or might not.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, wrestling Bo is essentially just rock, paper, scissors.
The fastest way is to just slap and then mash at least 12 times per second, and you can just do that twice and you're done. But if Bo decides to do something else, then it doesn't work. And it takes longer. And as a side effect of the text displacement, Bo remembered where he was in the conversation and just picked off where he left off.
Yep.
As if we never left.
He was waiting for us to come back.
It's like 4 minutes we were gone. It's really nothing. It was a patient man. He's getting good RNG on the first cycle there. Not quite perfect mashing, though.
Yeah, the first cycle, so you have to wrestle Bo twice. The first one's a little bit easier because he actually has 4 moves you can do. So normally he can slap, grab, or move to the side. And that's sort of like the rock, paper, scissors. But on the first one, he actually has a move he can do, which is basically just do nothing, and in which case, like, all of your moves basically win against it. But on the second one, that move is gone. So G's actually getting pretty great RNG there. He wasn't trolled too hard.
Yeah, 3 extra slaps, but that was it.
So hopefully we'll see that same sort of luck, or better, from Link here.
Yeah, if you get unlucky, Bo can just keep pushing you over and over again. I wonder if we'll see anyone lose to Bo in this tournament.
It is pretty rare, but it has happened. So Ace just got done setting up text displacement, so we'll see her talk to the Goron here in just a second. And we're going to get to see G's do a really cool trick, so we need to go back up to the mines to actually get into them, but we're not going to take the same way up because there's a slightly faster way to go that we couldn't go before by rolling and clipping into this wall and then jump slashing to prevent going out of bounds. And then you can turn as Wolf and come over to this little out of bounds section and jump to the elevator that takes you straight up to the entrance of the mines. Getting there a little bit quicker than if we went up the way we went the first time.
Yeah, very clean early elevator from G's. And
yeah, it was very good.
Link getting 4 slaps from Bo, so 1 more than G's, but otherwise a very clean fight. Very clean wrestling. And then we're about to get to Goron Mines itself, which is a difficult dungeon. At this point, we only have the lantern and the iron boots. And that limits the things we can do a lot. So this first room especially is very different from, say, an all dungeons run, where we can skip half of it. Geez, getting the pipe jump there.
Wow, that's actually incredibly difficult. I'm surprised you went for that. So already seen some time savers here. G's getting hit by the flame to abuse invincibility frames to get through the jets without actually doing the puzzles. And we're actually going to get to see it here one more time. So G's is going to get hit by the frog and then roll through this jet as well, skipping having to activate the switch.
Decent first turn from G's. Could have been a little bit faster, but
yeah, overall very nice.
G's has spent a lot of time in this dungeon with ILs in particular, so no surprise that it's second nature.
Yeah, Link also getting a nice early Ellie's there.
There's also a small time saver that G's could go for here that's pretty risky and is not worth it for a tournament race. Yeah, not going for it.
Yeah, he's going to wait.
You can go for 1 cycle earlier there, and most of the time you'll just fall into the lava. So, probably not worth it.
All right, Link now entering the mines as well.
And Ace on her way to Bo.
So there's a little time saver G's can do in this room. So he's going to kill this...
Dodongo.
Dodongo, yeah, slipped my mind there. And then pull this wall. Normally you're supposed to pull it all the way back and then go around. But you can actually use the wall to, and then clip into the side there to sort of have it push you through. And then that saves time from having to pull the wall all the way back and then go around on the platforms.
Link opting to go for the switch here. It only loses about 5 seconds to go for this method compared to the fastest, so I don't blame Link at all. Looks like Ace getting some bad RNG from Bo. There are 3 key shards in Goron Mines that make up the boss key. We will be seeing the runners get at least 2 of them, but the game only checks for the 3rd one, so we're able to skip 1 in this category, and then another one if we get a bunch of hidden skills and bombs. I don't know if the bombs are necessary, actually. The fastest method of skipping them. Yeah, it is. I think. I don't know. I don't watch ILs. All right. G's now walking on the ceiling. It is slightly faster to do some combos here, so that's fun.
Yeah, unfortunately, the goal there is to do those combos and not clink, because the clink ends up eliminating most of the time save from the combos. So unfortunately, G's clinking a couple times there, but still going to get some time save here, hopefully, if we don't clink anymore. Plus, it looks really cool.
Yeah. Ace got the iron boots. Now we'll be also heading to Goron Mines. Wii runs have a big advantage in Goron Mines because of that previous room of walking on the ceiling. There's a Wii exclusive glitch where you can run on the ceiling without the iron boots, and it saves a lot of time.
Ace trying early Ellie's now. Let's see how it goes. Nice.
It's very nice.
So we're going to probably see most of the runners try another trick, or try a trick in this room. So normally you're supposed to take the magnets up after you get the small key here and activate that switch to open the gate. But because we had the Master Sword earlier than we're supposed to, these gates are a little finicky with Wolf Link, and you can actually clip straight through them if you get in the right position with the right angle. So what we're going to see G's try now is to sort of do that trick where he's just going to essentially just hold straight up against the gate, and then if he does it correctly, yep, pop right through, which is nice. That was very good.
I was thinking that G's looked a little far left there, which can make you void out for some reason, but very good to see that not happen, and through and on to the next room.
Yeah, G's unfortunately getting what happens to a lot of runners is when you try to walking slash that rope, sometimes you just hit the metal, which if you're trying to hit it and then go into a hang, which is slightly faster, and you hit the metal, sometimes you can just jump straight off without slicing the rope at all, which, yeah, just happened there.
Yeah, Cell has a very healthy lead, though that could all change 2 rooms from now. Probably won't, but we'll see. The outside room, fairly simple, just getting a small key, and probably going to want to avoid the fire arrows, just because G's is at 3/4 of our heart here.
Yeah, getting a little risky.
The next room.
Yeah, go ahead.
In the next room, we have the key shard skip, which, as we said, there are 3 key shards, and the game only checks for the 3rd one. So we can do a precise jump to be able to skip the 2nd one. It requires semi-precise angle and very precise timing. And
so
saves
G's
about 35 seconds.
Nice,
Second try
right?
from G's. Very nice.
Not bad. Yeah, so G's kind of made it look easy there, but it is quite precise. And you can kind of keep retrying it for like 6 or 7 times before it ends up losing time. But most runners will either they'll try it once and then just go get the key shard, or they'll try to do a minor setup to basically keep doing the jump again and again until they get it. So G's getting it on second try there was actually pretty great.
Unfortunately, having to kill the Tektites to
yeah.
do it again.
Going to see another trick here, which will let us skip one of the throws off of the mini boss here. So when the fight started, oh, very nice. So G's actually getting 2 time savers there. So when the fight started, G's attacked the Goron and then got into a position to throw him off, and then right after the throw off happened, ended up landing in a hang on the platform, and that actually gets the Goron to stay under the platform and get hit a second time, which skips the second throw off. And then he did another time saver there while the Goron was sort of bouncing around in the lava, where if you can get close enough to him, you actually quick spin him while he's bouncing around, and that'll trigger him into a roll where you can immediately throw him off for the third time. So G's getting a really good fight there.
Nice, good manners talking to Dengoro after the fight. And that'll get G's the bow, and oh no, Link falling down. That's a very strange spot to fall down.
Yeah, I don't I don't think I've seen something like that before. So maybe we will see Link try for the key shard skip as well. Let's see. Oh, no, he's going to avoid it.
Yeah, fairly sensible. If you're not super confident at key shard skip, it does only save 32 seconds. So you can go and talk to SVA here. Hi, SVA. And lose a little bit of time just for safety.
Yeah, definitely don't blame Link. I also almost never go for it either, because it's just a very hard trick.
So all that's left in the dungeon for G's is heading to the boss and then defeating the boss. Should be fairly straightforward. I wonder if G's is going to go for the fancy parkour stuff. Considering he went for pipe jump. I feel like if you go for pipe jump, you've got to go for the thing that saves twice as much time.
Yeah, so there's some really clever movement you can do in this next area that G's is going into. To skip having to kill and move the Vimos to get to the upper area to activate the magnet. So we'll see if he does it here.
First, shooting 2 Boblin archers to skip a cutscene. And looks like he will be going for it.
Yep.
Oh, and falling into the water there.
Yeah, very unfortunate. So my guess is he will maybe... I don't know, he could try it again, but maybe he will go for the Vimos now. Okay, yeah, just stop him to kill the Vimos. It saves very little time. If you execute the C-Ops too slow, it actually ends up being around even. But yeah, if you're quick, it can save it a little bit.
A gate clip giving a little trouble to Ace, unfortunately.
We're going to activate the magnet here, and normally you're supposed to shoot down the bridge while on the magnet, but if you get in the right position, you can actually do a jump attack off the magnet and just land on the top of the bridge. G's actually almost missing the bridge, but
I don't know how that worked.
When I saw his angle, I thought for sure he was going to fall, but he made it.
Yeah, went left to go right. I thought you had to aim where you were going for that one.
And in this room, you're supposed to shoot down another bridge, but normally there's a bunch of archers shooting at you. But if you stand in the right spot, you can actually avoid all the archers and hit the bridge, which we just saw there.
Now we're at the boss, which is Pyrus, and it's fairly straightforward. Just shoot the crystal on his head 3 times and trip him, and roll stab the crystal on his head. Just repeated 3 times. There's a little bit of manipulation we can do to trip him faster, but it's just generally a pretty straightforward fight. Looks like Ace also not going for key shard skip. We get to see SVA twice in this race.
Good race.
Feels okay, man.
So here we'll get to see if Link is going to try for the fancy movement.
And hopefully I not also falling into the water. Unfortunately, didn't wait quite long enough before reaching the middle to get that cutscene skip.
So it looks like Link opting not to do it.
The parkour only saves somewhere around 2 seconds, so I don't personally go for it, as cool as it is.
And I missed it, but I believe Ace fell. And now she is going back up the ladder.
Oh, dang.
I assume while getting on the magnetic walls, which I've done before as well. It's quite easy to miss those walls.
Yeah, it is.
Link going for the jump on the bridge now.
And just missing it.
Ouch. Yeah.
That was an interesting positioning.
Yeah, Link going for actually a slightly safer one, or supposedly safer one, where you can land on the bridge or land on the walk next to the bridge, as opposed to the bridge.
It's about 2 seconds slower, but it's a lot more lenient, and you don't have the chance of cutting the rope on the bridge to to see the cutscene. And G's now finishing up with, on the race time, it looks like 59 flat. Sub 1 is a really good time in a race of this category, so a 59 flat is very respectable. Lots of stuff happened in that run. We'll be seeing Link and Ace finishing up shortly. So G's will be advancing to the final bracket, and we'll be racing against Dean Machine, I believe. Opting to watch the cutscene. Kind of rare for TP speedrunners.
Link now entering the final fight as well.
Ace still just a little bit behind at Dingoro. Just about to get the bow. It's just barely failing to activate the BMOS. You have to get close enough to that BMOS for all of the other ones to wake up, and sometimes it's hard to judge. And Link doing a jump attack and auto spin for that's not necessary. Most runners do a roll stab, but jump attack and auto spin is good too.
Yeah, style points. I believe this is the final hit for Link.
I believe so.
Yep. Very good showing for Link as well. G's doing some Renato pushing. I'm gonna go take him out to the hot springs.
Quite a few things that the runners can do just to pass the time after the run. Kakariko has quite a bit in it.
And the time for Link. It's like it was a
1:02:56.
yeah.
Still
Very nice
also a
time.
very respectable time. Unfortunately, will be eliminated from this tournament, but huge shoutouts to Link for making it. It was a very early morning for him. The mailman says "heyo" in French. That's amazing. And Ace now getting to the virus fight. Hopefully just a few more minutes. Yo. We have a huge GG's.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, good job.
Was quite the race. Quite a good sync. Up until King Bulblin won, which both of you had pretty bad RNG on, but
Yeah,
I
the
don't know.
fight didn't go very well, but
Stuff
very
happens.
nice race. And GG Link.
And going for pipe jump at the start of Goron
Yeah.
was
I needed to do it once, so
Okay. Do you hear me now?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. My mic seems to not be working for some reason. Yeah, GG's.
GG Link.
Yeah, also,
GG
what
Ace too.
was that start? Yeah, GG Ace. So where was the start, seriously? Like, we were so tired.
Yeah, we almost
It wasn't even the
Uh,
best start. Link had a really bad gate clip, I think.
Yeah.
But then
was
G's had
thinking
really
about
bad goats. And
Yeah,
you're
my
basically
goats were-
tied at Master Sword.
I'm only not happy about goats, basically. And pipe jump, because it was slow.
But it was cool.
Yeah.
Second try key shirt skip, and very nice run in general.
Yeah, also my
So-
run was pretty bullshit at the end. Like, the ending was really bad. But yeah, whatever.
Lots can happen in this category, and in this tournament, we've already seen a lot of it go wrong.
Yeah.
So, just unfortunate to say,
And Ace finishing with a 106.54.
GG.
GG's.
GG. So, G's will be moving on to the final bracket. Going to be going up against Dean Machine. And unfortunately, Link and Ace now both eliminated from the tournament. huge shout outs to them for running, and huge shout outs just for on the scheduling side. This was essentially the only time that would work for all of them in like this week and next week. So it was really, really good that we were able to find a time.
Yeah, as I said, it's really early right now for Giz and I.
It's 7 a.m.
Well, yeah, we woke up at like 5:30 or something.
5 for me, but yeah.
5, yeah, down.
It was a bit hard at first, but it's fine. We get to play TP.
I mean, it was fun.
Good game.
Tournament has been very nice so far. Very nice races.
I'm trying to think of other things to ask and clarify, but it's 11 p.m. for me. I've had a long day.
Yeah. You're gonna sleep well.
Yeah, a
Very
little
nice
unfortunate Elden Twilight, and a lot happened in the end for Link.
Yeah, that was... Early game was really good. I had my best what is my spit name actually? I had my
Nice.
best enter groves in the Master Soul.
Nice jot one.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, EMS didn't give... It was a little... You got a little bad RNGs, but wasn't too bad for anyone, really.
I got very good RNG all the way through the run. Like, I got every framer, I think.
Yeah, nice.
Very nice.
Alright, I'm guessing that's my cue to take it away from you guys.
Go ahead.
Alright, so let me take a look at the schedule. I know we have something tomorrow for sure. So tomorrow we've got the final bracket, winners bracket quarterfinals, which is you, Fino, against Andy.
Yep.
That will be fun at 3 p.m. Eastern, and that is currently on the schedule for ZSR 3. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. And then on Monday, we've got a redemption bracket quarterfinals match between Simikins and Glubbers. That will also be pretty fun. And then we got another one on Monday. That one is Ethernet Voice versus Moise SR. So definitely stay tuned for all that. We will go ahead and raid... I don't like raiding competitors, so we're going to raid Japanese Restream. They're currently showing a TP Wii Honda run, so that'll be fun. And thanks so much, everyone.